Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to COASTER-net Update. We've got some breaking news out of Mason, Ohio, where today officially announced was the Phantom Theater coming back. So Jeff, was it like a week ago at this point? We kind of predicted what was coming back. And I think there was no big secret that the Phantom Theater was coming back, right?
Right. We
So
we felt like the theme had to be the Phantom Theater.
it just had to be at some point with everything they've been hyping with the teaser campaign. Some of the surprising stuff in it was that this is going to be a fully Sally Dark ride. So that kind of like we kind of speculated a little bit that that could be the case.
Yeah, we talked about it, but we were kind of thinking, or at least I was, and I felt like the way we were talking that they were taking the theme from Phantoms out of the Boo Blasters location and moving it to the crypt. But I
Yeah.
think what they were actually trying to show us with that teaser is that they were taking the haunt that maybe more recent people are familiar with and bringing it over to the theater. So we kind of got that part of it backwards, or their intention may be backwards.
Yeah, because if you ever been through, I know I haven't been through Madame Fatales in years, but when I remember going through, they do have like some backstage area, like looking areas, and they had some old, from what I understand, some old props from the original Phantom Theater. So it seems like they're bringing back a lot of that stuff to the Boo Blasters location. So from the press release that we got from Mr. Tony Clark today. Um, there are going to be 26 interactive scenes, which seems like a lot.
Yeah.
Um, more than I want to say more than Boo Blasters, maybe. Boo Blasters is a hefty ride, but most of them have about half that number of scenes, I think, in general. So that's gonna be a lot. They said it's a fully immersive 26 scenes. That there's gonna be a whole bunch of animatronics. I think we counted at least six to eight different animatronics that they're gonna be using.
For different characters that could potentially be animatronics.
True, true. So I'm not really expecting. I think a lot of people when they think of like Sally Darkrai, they think of the cardboard cutouts like like Boo Blasters or Gobbler Getaway. Like you have a lot of the cardboard cutouts and all this like black light stuff. Um I'm thinking more like Sally Dark Ride, Justice League Battle for Metropolis. So I think we have to start thinking in those terms. I don't know if there's going to be screens because it does say you're going to be given a flashlight to capture notes. So I don't know if that means screens.
I kind of think that that might make it a little more like feasible to squeeze in so many extra scenes. Because if there are screens, if you think about it, you can move to one location and set there for a second and use
Yeah.
your enchanted flashlight, not a gun, and capture whatever, wacky ghost you need to get, and then you'll move you along. Now, on the Battle for Metropolis ones, I really liked that combination of real set pieces and screens and also just the movement of the vehicles. So I'm kind of hoping that it captures some of that because it felt so much more modern than the other ones that I've been on.
Like just the Joker scene by itself in Metropolis, that just that one scene is just really cool because you have the Joker on his little tank looking thing. You got the fire shooting at you. That's a real fire. You do a little spin, and granted, those are oceaneering cars, so we don't know what cars they're using for this ride. Um, Maybe because if they talk about boarding a haunted opera box based on the pictures, they could just be reusing the current cars that they have, or maybe retrofitting them and adding in extra. Maybe they'll just redo the chassis and redo the electronics in them and just reuse the look of it. I don't know because those things last forever, I feel like.
Yeah, that's really hard to say. I've not been on the Boo Blasters at Kings Island. It's not really like a ride that I've tried to get on every single one. Same with Battle for Metropolis. I've only done the one at Great Adventure. But
And that's one of the better ones too. It's not because that's because
I
some of them are a little bit shorter, but
I didn't even
those
know that any of them were different, to be
oh, they
honest.
are different. Trust me, they are different in quality. Um,
But
I
The one at the one that I went on at Carowinds, uh, that one did not feel like it had quite nearly the like 20 something scenes. Like
Yeah,
it
no,
was like
no, not at all.
really squeezed a lot
Um,
into a small package.
and even and I don't know what they're counting as scenes in particular. But even Battle for Metropolis, and I haven't been on it in years too. But even that one, you can go watch one of the best videos we have on this whole station is my RPOV or POV of Battle for Metropolis. Funny story. I was at that media day for the opening of Justice League. Tony Clark was also at the media day, and I asked him, "Hey Tony, when are you guys going to get one of these? This is what you guys need." I said it to him, and he kind of like chuckled. And apparently, that answer is the year 2025
No, it's
is when Ohio will finally get one of these.
next year.
Next year, 2026 is the answer. So there you go. So I don't know if they're reusing the cars. They could just because the cars are reminiscent of the cars that are already on Boo Blasters, but they're also very reminiscent of just from the artwork. I'm saying too. They're also reminiscent of the Voyage to the Iron Reef slash Berry Tales at Knott's Berry, but those are Trio Tech cars, but they have that same shape where you sit three or four across. I think those are a little bit bigger that you can fit four across. Did these say a number of people? Three, because the Boo Blasters was three, I think.
In the picture, it looks like it's three, like in the artwork that they gave us,
Yeah.
and the artwork looks a lot like I said, I'd never seen the one at Kings Island, so Andy sent me a picture of it.
Yeah.
It looked just like that, and it's the only Sally Dark ride that I've ever seen that wasn't two rows, so I was kind of surprised.
Yeah. It is unique in that. And I don't know enough dark rides to say if there's any other ones that do straight across instead of staggered seating. Um, but it sounds like it's going to be interactive. They're going to have different effects, wind effects. They said they did say fully dimensional sets, so I don't know what that means.
Sounds cool.
Dimensional. So everything has dimensions. Even 2D is dimensional, I guess. Like so, I don't know. But I feel like this is exactly what people kind of were expecting, maybe what they wanted at some in some regard. I don't think that you have to do much to the facade because, like, do you think they're because that facade's really cool?
It
Like,
is really cool building. Like I did walk past it a couple of times, and I definitely noticed it. Whereas, like, I can't even picture some of the other ones that I know I've walked past in my head.
and that's the other thing is like the building is cool because you have the inside air conditioning area. Even at like Carowinds, like a lot of the queue line is outside, like next to the building.
Yeah, there's room for like maybe a dozen people
Yeah,
inside.
and then you just like walk right in and you're on the ride. It's like kind of awkward. Um, and then King's Dominion, I haven't been on that one in forever. You like it's down by like Dominator over there, down
Way
the
off
road.
the side. That's why I never tried that one.
Yeah, it's way out of the way. So like, you know, so the thing I struggle with is they already had a dark ride. You're just replacing the dark ride. Um, so it's a better theme because what is Boo Blasters? Because like it had the Scooby Doo theme, and then they had to get rid of Scooby Doo when they lost the license, and now it was just a random ghost. Now you actually have something tying back to the park, so that's cooler. So it's like you're not really like gaining a ride in my mind. You're like kind of like just it's just a retheme and reskin, right?
Right. So Sally already does have it on their website, and
Oh,
they call it a redeveloped ride. So to me, that sounds like they're using a lot of the bones that are already there. But I agree with what you're saying. It checks all the boxes off for the fans of Kings Island. It's got nostalgia. It's got, characters that they've developed. It's got IP that they don't have to worry about licensing, that they own everything. Like it's really got every.
strange that it's not a Snoopy dark ride, right? Like it is strange that it's not a Snoopy dark ride. Granted, it's not a Justice League Battle for Metropolis either, but I'm just saying it's going to be smack dab in the middle of Snoopy Land, basically, and it doesn't have a Snoopy theme. Like I don't know, maybe you can't make Snoopy scary.
No, well, I mean, it could have been like the Great Pumpkin
The
Charlie Brown.
Great Pumpkin, the Kite Eating Journey, and that pretty much ends your list. Maybe a little Red Baron. Can we do a World War One scene with Red Baron crossing enemy lines Is that
Maybe
okay?
there,
Grenades flying, explosions? Like,
there
come on.
there's going to
Let's
be Easter eggs. Maybe there'll be some other Kings Island Easter eggs, but maybe if we look closely, we can find a Snoopy.
maybe. I'm just thinking here about Snoopy Dark right now and the Great Pumpkin, and I'm like thinking to myself like how like serious that whole scene is when he's crossing France and under like trench warfare, and like I show it in class every year on Halloween to my world history classes because of that scene and because of the Red Baron, and then we have a whole discussion about the Red Baron. But it's just like it's just out of left field program. Anywho, I'm on a tangent. But
That's okay.
yes, it's not a Snoopy theme, so that is interesting. Yeah, so but like you said, it's nostalgia. It's all this stuff. There's a lot of question marks about a lot of different places in Kings Island. Just on top of this, that so you still have the crypt building, which is there that they can use for anything. You still have a lot of people saying Invertigo is gone.
Oh, Invertigo does not look good. I think Invertigo is done. That is definitely going to be on the ride removal list.
I think we're gonna hit another big off season for ride removals, and
I
there'll be
got
an outcry again, but I don't know if anything on the list will really warrant the outcry. I think it'll fall on deaf ears a lot, but there'll be an outcry. I can't remember the last time. I think the last time I rode in Vertigo was the first time I rode in Vertigo.
that would make sense. No,
So
when I pulled up this year, like all the cables had broken and everything was hanging off of it. It looked bad.
yeah, and then they said that they closed off the area, and
The
yeah, it's
whole
not
area
looking
was closed
good.
off.
Yeah, there's a lot of rides right now not looking. I did hear Millennium Force was back open though, so that's good. I heard it was testing today, so
I,
that's not
I
fun.
fell right into the Kings Island trap, being like, they can put a front gate coaster over there. They got this whole plot of land by Vortex over there. They can build something out of the crypt going back there. Like
Yeah,
I had 10 years of investment going in 2 seconds after
yeah, and you haven't even mentioned the Son of Beast plot too, so that still
I.
half of it still remains.
I know we
Um,
were staring at that on the break run of Orion, being like, how come it didn't keep going?
yeah, yeah, right. So Phantom Theater coming back. Now the other question I had, one last question, because it does seem like it's going to be bigger. The question is, will they push into that back building? That there's a building behind Boo Blasters that, like I said, they use for Snoopy meet and greets. That might have been used for the original. I don't know. I'm not that. I was not on the original. I was not a big fan of Kings Island when the original was open. It wasn't like I was following the park religiously. Someone else would have to answer that in the comments. But they do have areas that are indoors that they could push this ride into to add a lot more space, add a lot more cars. This could become a real people eater too. Like if you add that's what I'm saying. Even if they reuse the cars, I feel like they're gonna have to add more anyway. Like I don't feel like there'll be enough for
Well,
2016s.
if there's 26 scenes and a couple of blocks in the load area, they could potentially have like 30 cars.
Yeah.
That's a
And
lot of
that's the other
people.
question is whether, but like how close those Sally Dark rides go to each. Well,
Yeah.
Justice League, you
When you're
kind
on
of see the
Justice
guy
League,
in front of you.
you kind of like look over your shoulder sometimes when you're like whipping from one scene to another. You could see the other car
Yeah,
like taking your spot.
for sure, for sure.
They got it.
So,
They got it
um,
programmed tight. They could fit a lot of people on that thing, I think.
and that's the big question. So they'll probably just gonna make new cars. They'll probably throw. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But so the first that big announcement has dropped here. Phantom Theater officially coming back to Kings Island 2026. Phantom Theater has a subtitle too, doesn't it? Opening Fright or something like that.
Uh, yeah, it's called Open.
Opening Nightmare. Yeah, Phantom Theater Opening Nightmare. So pretty cool. That image does look 3D generated, like they're going to be screens. Oh, I was going to say too, I'm hoping they do screens more like Disney does on Navi River, where they have screens like buried behind physical props
Yeah, that's
to
cool.
make
Yeah.
it kind of all blend together, as opposed to just having screens, like a whole room of screens, like you would see on like Toy Story Mania or Wonder Mountain or Berry Tales. Like I like it when it's immersed a little bit more with physical.
I know in the artwork it does not have them wearing like glasses or visors or anything
Thank
like
God.
that. You know, there's good and bad with that. I mean, the Metropolis rides when we were wearing the glasses were amazing looking. Now that they took those away, it basically just
Oh,
like blurry and you don't see the shots anymore. Um,
mm,
I know that you think like uh the Avatar stuff is the best dark ride ever, right? Yeah.
yes.
But
It is
Remy,
classic.
Remy's Ratatouille Adventure and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway were my favorites when we went.
I'll give you Mickey and Minnie. I will not give you Ratatouille at all. I thought Ratatouille was a huge disappointment, but that's
Well,
just
it will be
people.
next time because I heard they're taking away the visors.
Okay. People are currently clicking off this show because when we talk Disney on CoasterNet, our viewership plummets. People are like, "What is Disney? Get away from me, Disney." So anyway, we will keep you updated on some other stuff. We're gonna get hopefully an announcement out of Six Flags Over Texas soon. Are we expecting anything else?
This season?
Probably
I
not,
don't
right?
know.
We're
I
probably
mean, well, Carowinds might still reveal what they're doing with their giant log flume. I did see that they did a lot of land clearing for that, so maybe they'll once they get stuff coming in, they might
yeah,
reveal what's going on with that. They definitely didn't start building yet, though.
yeah. So we'll see what happens. So as always, I am Andrew Barchek from Chicago, Illinois.
I'm Jeff Goodman from Long Island, New York.
Right on, Red Warriors.
Good night.